friend like it's a friend like we. Whenever you're in trouble, you can call on me. I'm there to protect you in a heartbeat.
Trust me, I say this justly. I went from musty to musky, and y'all can't mush me. I warn y'all hornballs, I hush puppies. The swans in the pond called my duck ugly, but now they hug me because it's lovely. They love the aroma of the world. Got the shakers and the skaters and the players and the girls. Keep the fakers and the flakers and the haters in the twirl. You want the Pokemon? Hey, I gotcha. You want the realness? Well, I gotcha. I know you're sick of them niggas, big current watcher. Either they pimps or they max or they monsters. You want the real shit? Well, I gotcha. You see my niggas here, you know we proper. You know we do it right. You know we trust me.
Okay, hopefully everybody can hear me and see me because my headset, my mic, don't nothing want to work. Okay, Mac is being real funny today. Mr. Crocket might be messing with some of my stuff at this point, the way my stuff is acting up. So I hope everybody can hear me without my mic and my headphones and stuff. I turn my fan off so everybody can hear me. But we are going to be talking about Mr. Crocket today. So I hope everybody's seen it because this will be a spoiler review. So I hope you all seen it. I actually would encourage you all to see it. But y'all know I'm not here to talk about this myself. You know what? Let's bring up Ashley first because she knows the Mr. Crockett song really, really well.
Friend like you is a friend like me. A friend like us is a friend like we.
I had to put it in there one time for the one time.
I loved it. You saw me back there vibing.
How you doing on this Sunday? And did you enjoy Mr. Crocket?
I'm doing good, and I did. I think that this movie has potential. You guys kind of schooled me because y'all know I don't do nothing with horror. But immediately once we met this character, I said this could be legendary. Like he could go down in the Hall of Fame of one of those black, characters that people dress up like for Halloween. That'll just kind of go down. Honestly, I thought this was imaginative. I thought it was creative. I was here for it. Was it perfect? No, but I think it's got potential. I really, really do.
Okay. Well, let's hear from Struggle and let's see how she feels about our newest black horror villain. That's what I like to call him.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. Look at here. If you are a horror movie watcher, you knew what you was getting into when you saw that trailer. All of the Freddy Five Nights animatronic puppet Pee-wee's Playhouse / Sesame Street / I was here for it. I thought it was it felt familiar, but it felt fresh because it was a brother. It was a brother, and we I love the them expanding on this bite-sized Hulu wing situation and making it a full-fledged film. Clearly the budget, everything was very modest. I feel like they did a lot with what they had. Like I've seen worse. You know, I'm somebody who don't mind rolling up on Killjoy every once in a while if I feel like it. This is over there. But it's like, very, very elevated for what it was. And I feel like if people engage enough with it, we could get a Mr. Crocket part 2 and 3.
Okay, I'm with it. Y'all drop in the chats. Did you like this movie? Did you appreciate having a new black horror villain? I'm here for all the things. And just because this movie took place in the 90s, I had to put on my human sweatshirt real quick to represent for the 90s. I am an 80s baby, but a 90s child. I grew up in, so I love everything that has to do with the 90s. So before we get into this Mr. Crocket episode, this not an episode because it was an episode of Bite-Sized Halloween, right? And we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna have to talk about some things that ain't got nothing to do with this movie, but we're gonna have to talk about 90s stuff. All 90s. For all the millennials out there, let's talk about some 90s TV and culture for just a little bit. Ashley, get us started off. In the 90s, the radio was on. You got a Walkman.
Mhm. Well, a disc man is what I had. But okay, yeah, we can go there. Okay, okay.
Oh, I was all the way back with a Walkman, okay? I was flipping tapes, side A and side B. Would you be listening to SWV or TLC?
It was gonna be TLC. What about your friends? That was gonna be it. I don't get me wrong, SWV was in heavy rotation, but as far as like my friend group, what I was doing in the talent show, we was dressing up like TLC and we were gonna perform. What about your friends? That's what it was going to be. So for that reason and that reason alone, it's gonna be TLC for me.
Hmm.
Okay. Tyra. Now we watching sports in the 90's, okay?
Mhm.
Whose jersey do you got on? What game are you watching? Are we going with Jordan or are we going with prime time?
Girl, this is
Dion?
the 90s. This is the 90s. And you know I love prime time, baby. I love me some prime time. Yeah, it was Jordan. And you had on your Bulls jersey. Like, what is we talking about here? That I'm sorry, prime time, baby, all day long. But I was over there repping with Jordan. Like, excuse me? No.
I ain't gonna hold you. Look, I'm a fan of Jordan in the 90's. I ain't even gonna hold you. I love me some Michael Jordan. Okay. I was all about the Bulls. Give me that the Space Jam, all the things. Jordan. Okay. I'll be here for it. Y'all drop in the chat. If you were back in the 90's, are we listening to SVU or TLC? Or are you
SVU.
watching
She been watching Stabler.
watching too long? It's WV. What's happened when one of your comfort shows is Law and Order?
Oh my goodness.
Are we listening to SWV? You know, Coco and them. Or we listening to TLC? And if you're watching sports, are we watching Coach Prime? We watching Jordan. We going back to Deion Sanders when he had the bandana tied around his head. That one in the in ring. Which one are we watching? Ashley, 90's TV, 90's children's TV. If you sitting in front of what was it back then? PBS? Is it PBS?
Public broadcasting system? Absolutely.
Are we watching Mr. Rogers or are we watching Pee-wee's?
Maybe there's no question. Would you be, please won't you be, please would you be my neighbor? It's going to be Mr. Rogers all day for me. To this day, he lived a good, clean life. I watched the documentary. I watched the movie. Mr. Rogers was who he said he was with his 2 sets of cardigans, his 2 sets of shoes. I loved Mr. Rogers down, and he was for the black folks. I find no fault in him. So it's Mr. Rogers all day. Pee Wee Herman was suspect. He was a criminal. A potential predator. I can't do it.
Okay, so what's wrong with me? Because my choice would have been was gonna be Pee Wee Herman. I can't. Pee Wee Herman had the movies, okay? Pee Wee Herman had the movies, and he had that little dance. He had the little dance that he did. You can't. Mr. Rogers was it?
He was a creep. He always freaked me out, but I did like the dance, and I did like his neighbors. I liked Pee Wee's neighbors.
Okay, y'all wasn't here. See, that's. I'm sorry. I had to go with Pee Wee Herman on that one over Mr. Rogers. Tyra. Now, if we in the 90's and we gotta put that shit on in the 90's, okay? Are we throwing on a windbreaker or we putting on overalls? And now remember, in the 90's when we did the overalls, we did the one strap and the pants leg rolled up like LL Cool J. What we doing?
Girl, I was lounging like LL Cool J with my one strap down in my baggy oversized overalls. Windbreaker for what? So you can hear me coming from down the street? No, we wasn't putting that on. We were putting on overalls. And then, you had to get bang for your buck. You could remix them overalls and wear them multiple times. The windbreaker was making too much noise for me, especially if you had the mesh set. No.
I wore windbreakers by force and overalls by choice.
Just crunching.
For some reason, I don't know. And my mom still be out here buying windbreakers and stuff. Okay. Still to this day. I was choosing the overalls every time. Give me my one strap overalls with my pants leg rolled up. Yes, I did that. I'm a millennial. Okay. This was the style. Okay. This was where I was going. Now I want both of y'all to go here. Now, see, the 90's gave us some good music, okay? They gave us some De La Soul, A Tribe Called Quest, but they also gave us Bone Thugs and Harmony and Coolio. And they gave us
Coolio, okay. All the people were there. You said Coolio.
Yep, Coolio was a big reference. They gave us Wu-Tang Clan. They gave us Dr. Dre. They gave us Snoop Dogg. They gave us Naughty by Nature. They
Tupac,
gave us
Biggie.
Onyx. They gave us Buster Leaders of the New School. So if we putting your headset back on the Walkman, okay, we putting the Walkman back on. Which one we going for with the hip hop? Okay, we going for Cool Like That with Diggable Planets,
Cool like
or
that.
we going with Tupac and Ain't Nothing But a Gangsta Party, Snoop Dogg, Tyra.
Girl, I'm over with the gangster rap. I'm a thug. What are you talking about? Like, I love both, but if I have to pick between the two, like, I was about that life. It was dope, man. Please, can I have another hit? We was rolling down the street in our 6'4", jocking, slapping the hoes. You already know, like, I'm gonna be over there with gangster rap every single time. But much love to the hip hop soul.
Ashley, who you got? Now we
This
in
is
the 90s now.
nuanced.
Which genre? Who we going with? There's some good music here.
This is nuanced, right? Because y'all know I lived in the West, so gangster rap is near and dear to my heart. West Side Connect Gang, like I that was back in those days. But as far as like my heart and what really is going to get me there, I guess I could kind of say I was in a conscious space back then. So it was definitely De La Soul, Black Star, Tribe Called Quest. That was probably where I was sitting at. Y'all seen to this day. So yeah, I'm gonna sit right there with hip hop soul, but I never want to have to choose. You know what I mean?
You gotta choose. You're supposed to bow down like West Side Connection, but all right, going over there with the hip hop soul.
Y'all drop in the chat. Now we in the 90s music. If you got on your Walkman, okay, your headphone, what we listening to? We listening to Tribe Called Quest, or we on Death Row Records. What we doing in the 90s? Okay, I had to put some 90s culture in there. Somebody said Wu-Tang was conscious too. Wu-Tang was hood and they was conscious. Okay, you could do both with that. Okay, they was talking about slanging that stuff out in the streets, and they was talking about peace God. So you could do both sometimes.
Peace God. For the children, everybody.
Okay, you could talk about what you did in your regular day life, and then try to teach the next generation to do better. Okay, you could do both. Shout out to the 50+ people in the chat already, and we just now about to get into the episode. Mary J. Blige with some hip. Okay, I'm with that. Who said my parents wouldn't let me? See, mine wouldn't either. But guess what? This is when you have the older siblings come into play. So my older sister used to babysit us and used to let us listen to hood music and let us watch hood movies when my parents was gone. Sorry to put y'all out there like that, but yeah, that I blame that on my older sister. As soon as it was time to babysit, we was doing all the types of thug activities. But getting into this episode, you all, we are talking Mr. Crocket. It just premiered on Hulu Friday, and it's getting some buzz out here, by the way. And we felt like it was worth a conversation. And we all, we got our recaps up. Y'all go watch those, because we was like, we need to break this down and talk about it. This is a new horror villain in town. But before we get into the movie itself, this movie was
hello, sir. Hey,
Brandon.
Hey, he said look like that. She had to put his picture on. Like a distinguished gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I know he kind of look like Jordan from All American. Just a little bit. That's what I was thinking about.
I don't watch that, but this man look well put together. He looked like he smelled good in the picture, so it had caught me off guard.
Yeah, good. He got a beard that connects, thick potential.
If you had that West Side Connection gold chain on, we would have popped it.
Yep. Look, sometimes if you gonna wear a black shirt, you got to put a chain on it. It's just that's just for the culture. I need a chain.
Last night. I learned that last night with Khalil in Bones. I learned it.
Okay, I need a chain. Okay, I'm just letting y'all know we got to put that out there. But Mr. Brandon here, he directed and he co-wrote Mr. Crocket, and he actually expanded on it because he wrote this as a short for Hulu's Bite Size Halloween. If you go on Hulu now, They have like 3 seasons of Bite Size Halloween, and I think this was in like the 3rd season. And they wrote it as a short. That's why a lot of the horror movies that you all watch now were taken from horror shorts. Like Smile was one of the movies that was taken from a short.
Terrifier.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Especially ones that, you know, they had the big budget to get a whole movie. But if you like the short enough, somebody's gonna pick it up and come and, you know, give you a couple dollars to kind of make a full-fledged movie. And I went back and watched the Bite-sized Halloween thing, and you could see that it looked like it could be an opening for a movie before he kind of like fleshed it out and made a whole movie. It looked like a first scene of a horror movie. Or actually, even if he would have taken that scene from Bite Size Halloween and put it in Mr. Crocket, it still would have fit somewhere.
Yeah,
because it looked kind of just like just another telling of how Mr. Crocket watches people and feels like, okay, the parents aren't doing what they need to do, I'm gonna just come on in. So, and I'm glad somebody saw that and said this needs to be a movie. This is a lot here. He also did a couple of other things, just so y'all know, like I think it's a short called Kiara, which is another short film, and a series called The Block. So I'm really anxious to look forward to looking for or watching out for more stuff from this guy. Ashley, how do you feel about director Brandon Espy being able to direct and co-write this movie?
Like I said, it's hard a lot of times. Well, I don't even think it's hard, but I think that the path that's most traveled right now in the arts, especially in mainstream film, is to pick up like on something that has been done already. I feel like he entered a space and did something that was kind of hard to do with nostalgia, which is make it original, right? You would never think there'd be this avenging on TV character that's out here saving the kids or allegedly saving the kids. I loved his approach. I loved the energy of it. And I really, really hope he gets many, many more opportunities to tell different stories. I like that this wasn't rehashed. I like that this was something completely different. And I think with a few tweaks, maybe some mentorship, maybe some funds, this could be something huge for him in the future and for the culture. I'm proud of him. Go Brandon with your cute self. Go ahead.
Tyra, how do you feel about this young man?
Hey, I'm glad somebody gave that man some bucks. Like that bite-sized short could have just been that, and it could have moved on. Clearly, and I'm not sure what The Block is, but I think Kiera. I think that was kind of a horror situation also, and he's trying to get into this space. So I'm glad that he got funding to expand on his vision. I'm glad that it was fresh. It was fresh, but it was familiar, especially unfortunately when we do get our own narratives a lot with our more so indie kind of independent lower budget horrors. There's a tendency to kind of lean into, you know, Leprechaun in the Hood up to no good. We just in the hood and it's bad out here. It's hard out here in these streets because we're living in the hood. My mama on crack, everybody on drugs. My brother got shot. Oh, look, there's a monster. Yeah. I'm glad that we didn't do that. I'm glad that we didn't do that. And the horror was just in Mr. Crocket itself. And that he was mindful of all of the characters here. Because with this being the 90s and this being a Black narrative, we could have easily had leaned into, oh, Mr. Crocket out here saving all these crackheads. Like we didn't lean into the usual suspects. So I can see where the effort and the thought was put to be mindful of certain things. And I appreciate that.
My bad, y'all. I'm over here on mute. I appreciated it too, and this is the kind of content creators I'm trying to see. This is what we need to be putting our bread into and supporting projects like this, because instead of recycling stories, y'all, there's people with new and fresh ideas out there. Let's see what else kind of producers and directors have to offer us. Another pair of eyes, another telling of a story. This is the kind of, when instead of just telling us the same thing over and over and they keep watering down, let somebody new tell the story. Let somebody new come in and say, I got an idea, and see what we can do with it. And like Ashley said, with somebody saying this young man has an idea, we got a budget, we got some backing and some things for him. Let's take this idea and put it on a grand scale. So hopefully if we get a Mr. Crocket 2, somebody sees what he did on his own and says, all right, I got you on the next one. But let's get into the movie itself. So we start with getting into the episode, we got Summer. Her husband has passed. We start with them at a funeral, saying goodbye. Her son, them grieving. Her and her son grieving over, her husband, his father. And we got Mr. Crocket here. Mr. Crocket is, that PBS show that you turn on for your children because you think that they're supposed to be learning something. You don't think that a guy like Mr. Crocket is watching you through the TV. And the guy who played Mr. Elvis, listen, this was perfect casting, okay? This was perfect casting. He played this role so good and so believable. I'm a little afraid of him in real life at this point. Okay, that acting was too good. You could tell that if ain't nobody else studied their craft. Okay, he took his role seriously and said, "I got you. I'm about to go into character." He probably was one of those that was method acting and was in character behind the scenes. The type of job that he did. So I was here for it. Tyra, tell me about the three main people from the story.
Oh, Mr. Crocker was everything. Like he definitely took the time to study, to say that I'm not gonna exactly mimic these people, but we all grew up, on public access television. We always, over there in our Sesame Street Pee Wee Playhouse, like that's when TV was TV. So this felt very familiar, but at the same time, I like the narrative of, because we didn't really have all that tech back then. This was our placeholder. This was our sit your ass down. Sit on down and get over there. Your show is on, your PBS is on, your big comfy couch is on. Like, oh, my Saturday, cartoons are on, and this is in a way become kind of replaced with that. So I love that. He was very much so into character. It felt Mr. Rogers, but it felt Mr. Crocket also, and I love that he had his own little kind of spin on it. Very, very sinister. Major would have stayed with Mr. Crocket because no. Major would have stayed with Mr. Crocket. I was trying to rock with Major and all of his grief, but yeah, what you're not gonna do? Yeah, we uncoupling, bro. You gotta go. We gonna go into that little boy moving forward because I don't want to step on his pride just yet. But you can stay with Mr. Crocket for all I care. Summer was doing what she was trying. I like the kind of fish out of water parenting with Summer. You could tell that Summer was the mother, but probably the husband was more so the rock and the disciplinarian as far as Major was concerned. And now that he's missing, we listening to tapes and trying to figure out, child, what that tape said, allow your child to spank you. So I was like, excuse me? It's like, okay, yeah, this isn't working. But you could tell that she's at the time doing the best that she can in they're grieving both in their own separate ways. But yeah, she was a rider because the way I would have left Major with Mr. Crocket.
Well, God, you just gave up on the poor boy.
Bye. A friend like you, get over there with him. Yeah, stay over there. You have a good time. Mm-hmm.
Push your young man out. Shout out to the 60 plus people in the chat. Thank you all for joining us on this afternoon to talk about Mr. Crocket. Ashley, how do you feel about the characters? The mom Summer grieving, this little boy who out here tossing stuff around like he pay rent, and the skill level and the character that we get with Mr. Crocket.
Let's start with Summer. Now, and I sat here and I looked at Summer and I said, Summer, who are you? And I said, oh, this Jerrica Hinton from Grey's Anatomy. That's where I first saw this lady at. And I said, oh, okay, girl. She came over here to do a little bit of light work. She always makes that face and she always gonna cry. And everything you see her in, that's what she's gonna do. So that's what I hold on to. She was fine. I think she did what she had. I think she worked with what she got on it. I don't think she's a bad actress at all. But I think I did want more from her. I get it. She was out of her depth, but parts of it, I was like, girl, be for real. Be for real. They even at the funeral, the repast telling her, beat him. Like,
You told Hoppo to beat me, beat him.
they said, whoop that little boy. Major was diabolical. Major knew what he was doing. When he stood up there and looked in her face and said, I'm gonna knock all this ish over. I said, oh, okay. I said, I had a hard time, you guys, finding Mr. Crockett as the villain. I said, he's out here doing the Lord's work. Listen, the first one, the stepdaddy was out of order, right? Because that's not your child. Mama, you out of order too. Okay, take him. Maybe he's in a better place. With Major, I said, oh, he's doing favors.
Mm-hmm.
He's out here doing the Lord's work. But Elvis Nolasco did his big one. I've only ever seen him in Godfather of Harlem. And if you know him in that, he's a killer dilla. Okay. He's a gangster. So seeing him embody this role, but not only just embody the character, and even when we do the flashback and he's cussing out the producers and stuff, it was just, I think his performance was dynamic and it had layers and levels. I loved everything about it. Like I said, everybody gonna be Mr. Crockett this Halloween. I felt like he gave an extraordinary performance, and I likened it to Luke James in Them as the Raggedy Andy character. I thought he did an amazing job. He was just creepy enough, he was just sinister enough, he was just black enough. You know what I mean? I felt like this again was good for the culture. I enjoyed
Were those a false set of teeth? I was just, for just wondering. Were those because that little smile, that little perfect. I was like, was that his actual smile or those falsies in the front? I wanted to know. But yes, he was doing the Lord's work. Because sometimes majors need to be taken away, and Summer needed to be okay with that. He didn't want to go with that woman.
So sometimes you got to listen to him and let him be, and let him do what it do. So we get introduced to the mom in the beginning, who wasn't really doing nothing while her husband was going in on her son. So now this is the, when in the horror movies, when the crazy old person run up to you and be like, you got to listen to me and run, don't go in that house. Okay, that what her was doing, but she was giving crackhead energy. But she was the one running, you got to do this and listen to me. But I mean, I'm not sure if I would listen to her either. But by horror movie rules, you're supposed to listen. Then you got this man over here. I think Eddie Anthony. He was the names that he was given. And then, who are you? But I knew he was suspicious when he first popped up. I didn't trust this man for nothing. He was looking too sus. The tape from hell. So who randomly gets delivered stuff that you just not even gonna take a watch yourself? Okay, somebody gives you free movies. You don't know who it came from, where it came from, and you didn't go watch it first, but you just gonna say, oh, somebody gave me something for free. I'll just go pop this in for my child and let them sit in front of the TV. And you don't know what's going on. Okay, that kind of looked like your fault a little bit, because you could have screened it and seen that Mr. Crockett was a little wayward. I mean, you could have saw this man being unhinged in the beginning, but you didn't. You just thought you had a free gift so that your son could leave alone for a little while. Ashley?
Girl, the song is catchy, but let's not pretend that parents don't do this every single day in real life. They be just putting on something and letting the kids go and watch whatever they watch. I thought this was interesting because they do this now. They drop these little boxes in neighborhoods and they'll have, like, I think mainly books now.
Yeah.
But she was like, listen, this child is unruly. I done exhausted all of my options and getting help and tips and tools. Maybe this will work. And then I put it on and I ain't got to hear Major not acting a fool. He not jumping on the bed. He not cussing me out. Like, put the tape on. As far as Anthony, aka Eddie, he looked like somebody who had been abducted. I knew it immediately. I said, oh yeah, he got a history. He been taken. Look at him. Look at his eyes. He didn't have no children. He's done nothing with his life but be miserable. You're very petty for this picture of the first mama. I just want you to know. You could have gave us a clip of her in the beginning. Come on now. But no, she did come across. But again, warnings always come in any good thriller, mystery, even a warning's gonna come, and it's typically gonna come by someone who doesn't look like they're trustworthy or can be believed. So when she paid her dust and was like, "Come on, Major, they gonna get you next," I said, "Oh, we need to listen to this woman." She ended up being foundational, but it was an interesting approach. It was an interesting approach. I wish we would have gotten a little bit deeper. I know this is just Halloween. So hopefully if we get a bigger budget in the next one, maybe we'll get more of the lore and more expansive like character building. But I thought she was solid. It was just him that pissed me off. It was just Anthony. Because we know.
Exactly. He didn't even try to hide his suspicion. And the fact that the mom was trusting him so easily was bothering me. She's like, yeah, I'll give you my number. Yeah, we can meet up. Sure, let's go be friends and hang out. How are you so trusting in an environment where your son just got snatched up? Tyra, are you taking the Mr. Crocket tape and letting Alexander watch this movie?
Hell no. It is this. First of all, this exact box is in front of my son's school, and he always like, oh, look, no, we don't know what for what. This is confirmation that we just walked by. You go in the building with your backpack. We got books at home. We got McDonald's at home. What you need up out of there? Leave it all there. But I love how it's just like, like, oh, you have a trash parent. Let me drop this in your front yard. It's just an automatic drop, and nobody's the wiser because this is just what it is. As a parent, sometimes you just need a breather. You just need a break. You know what? You start off, I'm going to give you like X amount of screen time and I'm going to monitor that television and you're only going, no, what you doing? I don't know what you're doing, but shut up and watch and leave me alone. Leave it alone. But even with the premise of Mr. Crocket, she let him watch this tape because it looks innocent. It looks, unassuming. What could this be? It's Mr. Crocket. There's puppets. There's man in a tie. This is, kid friendly. Why not let him watch it? Especially if he's instantly entranced and he's not bothering me. It's a line though with Major between bothering me that he was a riot. I know a gremlin when I see one. Major was an op. He was sent here by a demonic entity. He was an extension of Mr. Crocket way before he ever got to him. That was Mr. Crocket's seed, and he was planted in that lady. He needed to go because we're not acting like that. He never loved that woman. That was a Damien. That was an omen. Anyway, he's a bad seed. He's a problem child. But it's just like, hey, this is great. This is a time for me to just breathe because she was doing what she could. Like, child, you see, she had on a little waiter's uniform. I got to pay these bills. I'm trying to be everything to you while also cultivating. Like, I love you. We're grieving. We have, and you ain't making it no easier. But just like with your apps and your TV, your YouTube, your shows, you were Gracie's Corner and Baby Shark them kids to death. But when we cut it off and say you can't have it anymore, then it's a problem. Then it's just like, well, what's in it? I've seen my son watching multiple things that I was like, oh, this is probably something friendly. It's a cartoon. And then you go, Lily, what the hell is this? This is what's happening on the YouTube streets? This isn't what I think it is. So she thought this was unassuming, but all the time, Mr. Crocket is getting into your mom's, your Major's brain, planting seeds and being real ominous and grotesque in these tapes, just waiting for the opportunity. The kids are watching it, but Mr. Crocket is watching you. He is waiting. Like Mr. Crocket is like, like Jigsaw. It's any infraction we going off.
No, Mr. Crocket worse than Jigsaw. Okay,
Mr.
Crocket said you raised your voice at that child, right. And I'm coming through the
TV. Like, I found him like he has some morale. Like, you know what? I think his morale is, if you're mean to your kid, I'm going to take him. But if you're not like death and mentor, you're not on them drugs, you're not beating your kid, that's who I'm killing. I think that's why he allowed this mother to live and allow Summer to live. Y'all not bad or whatever. You're not terrible, but you've made it very clear you're disinterested or you're upset or you may be. What she said, I don't want to be your mother no more. I quit.
Said, like, I don't want to be your mama. That's what she said.
I don't want to be no mama no more. I quit. Like, oh, that's what she saying. That's all I need to hear. I'm coming to save this kid from this corrupt home. This little hidden identity man, they was wrong for that camera angle that they put this man on. Like, if y'all just they had him pop up into that camera corner like Jason at the peripheral, like,
exactly. That's what I said. Who was the cameraman?
Y'all could have wanted us to trust him when he was like, oh yeah, my daughter's missing. He took my daughter too. Like, yeah, we gonna go. Like, why you so happy? Or, did you want her? He was looking for that window child. Poor thing. Kay, in this holiday, I got the bike photo. Yeah, she was trying to do the Lord's work, but she did it in the least. The least, like, girl, you're supposed to come off unassuming, approachable. Like, no, you look like you was finna sell him for a crack rock. So rightfully so, she was not trying to listen to this. What she did, she had them crack rock splinters on her lips. This was the early 90s. It was 94. You was hitting the pipe.
She started the crack after the husband, the
First of all, you
stepdaddy
can't say
passed.
that. They didn't ever say this. They didn't make crack
She looked
confirmation.
she looked two different people. She had her cute little bob braids in the beginning. She ran off into the room. I can't take this. She didn't defend her son. Okay. She let that maniac
Bitch, let that
make
step
him
there.
eat 3 peas. I ate 3 peas.
I ate
That's
3
all
peas.
that's all I could think of.
First of
But
all, you
no,
know what?
the crack came later. I
I
believe it because she
couldn't.
looked healthy before.
Brandon did not put that in the script.
I think she was dehydrated and we just trying to put crack on it. I think she was dehydrated and them old electrical occurrences that was happening through the TV waves had her looking dry faced. But I don't think she was on that stuff. But that's what you would assume when you're in this yard trying to get my son. Just like, yeah, come with me. I'm trying to save you. Like, yeah, we can't listen to that. But he's coming and he definitely showed up. But yeah, I've never seen a mother take so long to come out of a room. Like, girl, can you move any slower? How many plates, pots, and pans do you need to hit the floor before you walk on out of that room? But yeah, it was fine. Stay up, girl. I hope you live a sober life.
Shout out to the 80+ people in the chat. Thank y'all for joining us to talk about Mr. Crocket. A shout out to with Black Captain America, ATL. Glad to see Ashley diving in the horror genre. Y'all keep doing your thing, ladies. Y'all know Ashley ain't deep in the trenches. She almost quit on us last night for Bones.
It was the
Just
maggots.
that fast. She was almost out of there, just that quick. And also shout out to Rod for being the members to all of our channels, y'all. We would love for y'all. Speaking of Bones, we had our members only watch along last night. Y'all got to come up to these blockbuster movie nights, okay? We would love to see y'all in these memberships. Y'all please hit everybody's membership link should be in their chat. And one time before we continue, I just want to thank y'all to the subs in here. And thank y'all to the people that's watching right now, commenting, subscribing, joining the memberships, sending super chats. Y'all hang with us because there's a lot more of this to talk about.
I'm gonna keep it real. How you make me feel. Boy, it gives me chills. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gonna break it down.
Thank you.
Just drive me wild. Whenever you're around. You know how I do. You know how I slow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to see you.
Boy, it's something about you that make me tell my friends they don't understand. No, they don't know your style.
Welcome back.
Girl, you can't be coming back with Tony Todd in my face like that. You ain't telling us you was switching.
I said, what's happening here? Are we on killer?
She got the little ominous tape deck sounds in the back after thanks for watching. She's trying to catch us slipping. I saw what you did, Kate. Don't do me. I watch horror. I was about to grab the blicky.
Oh my god.
We got to take a moment just for our Black horror villains out here because we ain't got that many. And so thank you, Brandon, for lending us your creativity and giving us Mr. Crocket. And so I put together a list of some Black horror villains, y'all. We got Mr. Clarence from Tales from the Hood, and y'all know he made a good, but y'all don't even know who he was till the end of the movie. Okay, this man let him cook. He let you cook for the whole movie until you figured out who he was. Y'all did another blockbuster night, y'all. Then we did Vampire in Brooklyn. We got Maximilian. We got Jimmy Bones and that hair that did not get no blood paint splatter on it the whole movie. Okay, and the hair was moving and doing what it needed to do, blowing in the wind.
Body movement,
And then we got he who shall not be named. That dude with the bees, okay, who has actually been the only one who had multiple movies in a franchise. And still going. And why our Black villains can't get multiple movies and stuff? Like, what we need some more of these guys. I don't know about y'all. Y'all should drop in the chat some black horror villains that I may not have even put up here, like Akasha and Ma. We don't have a lot, and when we do, they don't even be coming up. They don't even be giving them, but no,
Yeah, these are iconic though. We have, people every once in a while in a, standalone film like Ma, but like franchise, like spanning, there's a reason why all these people here are like basically from the 90s. That's sad. That's not. And we can even throw Snoop in there because that's 01. These are like 90s. This is still early on. We haven't made like a ton of progress. And you want to throw in like, oh, maybe Miss Mama's from Us, but it's like it's been real slim pickings out here. And it's unless it's, an indie lower budget type of project where we are seeing more black faces, but we wouldn't, we're not as present as we were then.
Ashley, and I know you don't be deep in the trenches of the horror movies. So you actually just recently watched 2 of these. But how do you feel about the presence of just us being in the horror space, even from what you've seen?
Well, that's what kind of excited me about like a them and a Mr. Crocket, because I do feel like, I know about popular culture, right? So even though I haven't seen the films, I know what people dress up for as Halloween. I know like how iconic these characters can be and what they can mean for a community. So I think with the advent of a Mr. Crocket, I think it opens doors. And like I said, that's why I feel like it just has so much potential, because it can be commercial and it can be something that kind of stands the test of time in terms of a black character that can be not recycled but seen over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as these villains, like I said, I've only seen evil is good. And
you ain't gotta see nothing, Ashley. This is literally it. All the thing missing here is maybe Akasha, Blackula, like I said, Adelaide from Us. There aren't many. There aren't. Unfortunately, there aren't many. And my fave, Grace Jones and Vamps, but that's not even. That's low key on the honorable mention side. Like there just isn't enough.
That's sad. Hopefully this does, and hopefully it paves the way for more. And you said these are all from the 90s. So like what's happened over the last 20, 30 years? It's crazy.
Exactly. And why it's so spread. Where are the black horror villains? But shout out to Mr. Crocket for coming in here and bringing us a fresh face in the horror genre. And I want him to have at least a trilogy or something, because it's only one of these up here that's got multiple movies, and they gave Blackula 2 movies, I guess.
Tales from the Hood has multiple movies, but they're all, Mr. Sims isn't there. He should have been.
I was just gonna say, is Clarence ain't in there?
Clarence not there. Kevin, Silverthroat, he's there. It's not no, he should have been the definite devil in every single film. But yeah, this is pretty much it.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's why when I see a black horror villain and it's done right, I'm gonna be a one out here to champion for it.
Oh, we missing Lil Mama from what? Death by Temptation? Then that's really it. We really there.
Then the list is over. It's done for after that. Wrap it up. Unless you want to toss in Angela Bassett from American Horror Story, which I don't really see her. I didn't really see her as a villain. I ain't really see her as villainous. But speaking of Mr. Crocket, he said, all you want to do is help these children. Okay. I'm here for the kids. Okay. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well in.
Let them lead the way.
Show them all the beauty that's inside. Every time.
Y'all know we'll bring out in a tune at any point in time. I just want to help these kids, because you know what? I was a kid who had a horrible parent too, and my dad used to beat me all the time. He was giving that tick from Lovecraft Country. You know how my daddy used to whoop me all the time. Okay, he was giving tick. He said, but you know what? I got older and I took care of that, and then I covered it up so the police wouldn't come and get me. But see, he overstepped his boundaries when he took what was little Anthony. And the police had gave him that work that you sprayed him one time real quick. And then he decided, I guess he made a deal with the devil or something. He was, I don't know, he kind of smooth talked the demon down there and said, you know what, if you let me come back, I might bring some people for you. I got something for you. Just let me do what I do, okay? Let me do what I do. And he is everlasting within the videotapes. He said, I'm gonna come through the TV. This is how I'm gonna do. All right, I'm here to help the children. Y'all the ones that's raggedy parents, okay? Don't blame me for trying to help y'all's children. Ashley,
Again, he's not wrong though. Like, let's be for real. The one little clear girl, her daddy had an active needle in his arm laid up. She needed to be removed from the home. CPS was not doing their job. Mr. Crocket said, listen, sis, I got you. The first one, I feel like the stepdaddy was out of order, making that man eat them 3 peas. Like, let that little boy alone. The mama was just letting him run roughshod. Take him and unalive the stepdad. Again, at first I felt like he was doing the Lord's work, but then later on, I said, oh, he's dragging the souls to hell. And the babies are still alive. That's probably the one of the confusions I had, because with the supernatural element of it all, I'm like, how are you bringing actual real people into this layer of hell wherever you are? And it didn't look great down there. I will say I loved the backstory being told in the form of a cartoon. It was hilarious when he unalived his daddy and then dragged the light. He's like, yeah, but I couldn't let it go like that, so I made it look like he fell off the ladder so I wouldn't go to jail.
he made it in a nice little kid story that they could digest. Like, put it in a cartoon, and the kids gonna be like, "Okay, I'm with you, Mr. Crocket."
There was a jump scare when he attacked the police because, sir, why did you leap across the room like that? It tickled me. Maybe it shouldn't have, but I thought that was hilarious. I love that we got a succinct story. With so many of the movies that we've watched in the horror space over these past couple months, they've been failing in telling a succinct, like, complete story. I liked that in this hour and a half or whatever, we got the background, we got the foreground, and we got set up for the future. Mr. Crocket was a villain. I think if they take this further and we do get a bigger budget and get to expand the universe, we need to get a deep look into his more nefarious motives, because I think we got a glimpse of it when Anthony gets down there and he's like, you're old. You're not an innocent young boy anymore. Yeah. I said, okay, so it's not just about saving the children. He has a different motive, and I would like for that to be explored. I think that could make him a consummate villain. Because, like I said, he was kind of a hero to me for the first part of it.
If he don't get his old Pied Piper somewhere, Tyra.
I love the animation. Like, I was like, oh, dude, you better stretch that budget, okay? You better stretch that budget. And it was just really on bar with this kid-friendly Mr. Crocket narrative. The animation did something like when he said, then I, made it look like an accident, so I wouldn't go to jail. Like,
I didn't go to jail.
That was funny. I love that we use that to stay within the budget, and also and it lends itself well to if you want to continue on Mr. Crockett's lore or franchise other things like the Mr. Crocket hour, little Mr. Crocket mini cartoons where he reads to the boys and girls, and it's all of the satanic stuff he's done over the years. Mr. Crocket wasn't all there. He was he had been through some stuff. It was from harsh upbringing. Nobody saved me, so I want to save the children. Eat them vegetables, go big and strong, kill your daddy. If you don't do it, who else is going to do it? I was here for that. I love that he saved like a rainbow coalition of kids. Like, it don't matter who it is. I'm saving Asian children, Black children, white children. I'm just here to save the babies. Now, I would like for the saving of the babies to have like just merit. How if I nudge my kid wrong, I don't need you peeking through my VCR trying to make it seem like I was a bad parent, Mr. Crocket. There has to be levels to this. You can't just be rolling up on me the same way you rolled up on the drug addict.
You got the spirit of Jigsaw, okay? It don't take much.
Every little infraction, you accidentally slip and step on your kid's toe. A friend like me, like, well, I barely did anything. I barely did anything, Mr. Crocket.
Mr. Crocket was like, he was in a friend like. You raised your voice. Hold on. Sound like you raised your voice. Hold on.
Come on. Yeah, we coming through. like but it's just but that's what he's saying. Like, no bedtimes, nobody to tell you what not to do. Like, he just wants to just save in general. He wants the kids to do whatever they want to do while all the while, we're under a whole spell. Wherever they think they are on this little studio set, it is not that. We are, in some type of gate or dimension of hell that is just solely condemned and reigned over by Mr. Crocket. I also love like the animatronic side and him using those puppet things to commit a lot of his murders. I thought that added, and I can appreciate a practical effect. I can appreciate a practical effect, especially when it's used in the right way. When those things were attacking her, it wasn't, I didn't look sideways. Some stuff you got to look sideways at, like, what the hell is going on here? No, they were actually big and proportionate to be ominous and all that good stuff. I appreciate it, and I liked him rolling up on Summer, because I do have a little morale, but keep trying me, keep looking for your son, investigating. They always go to the library. Keep going with your box braids. I'm gonna take you down the hill with your husband.
That's what he said.
I'm gonna give you a little chance. I do have a little stand. I ain't saying you're terrible. You wasn't on drugs or nothing, but what you're not gonna do is tell Major you don't want to be his mama no more. Why? I wouldn't want to be that damn mother either. Okay.
Major was a terror.
Terror of a child. Terror.
We left them. Y'all, just in case y'all didn't know, y'all know when I like to watch stuff, I this is why it's slice of horror, because with this I had to have me some pizza with this movie, and Tyra, guess what kind of pizza I had this time?
Anybody here order a pizza?
Charlie! Pizza!
It dices, it slices, and yet makes French fries in 3 different.
Marco's, okay? I finally got some Marco's pizza. That man ordered Marco's.
That's what you're supposed to get. Okay, everybody knows that. Don't you be coming up in here with that Little Caesars. Everybody knows that Little Caesars it detonates like a bomb in like 30 minutes, and then it's just, I don't know, it does something. It's pizza, but it's not pizza. It like congeals or something. I ain't got time going to Marco's Pizza every time.
Yes, if y'all had pizza while y'all watched this movie, Pizza Supply, drop it in the chat. Did y'all have a nice little movie night, Halloween movie night? Get y'all some dinner and watch a movie, okay? When I'm watching something good, I gotta have me my slice of pizza. Now y'all know I'm a sucker for a cold opening. Open the movie up right for me, especially if it's horror. Take me there, and y'all, they didn't hold back. They didn't hold back. My man's went from Mr. Crocket, yeah. Debit boy, if you don't eat your food, what is we watching on this TV? The mom with her weak tail self said, yeah, I can't do it. Over there acting like Katherine Jackson. It's like, I can't be around it when you're beating the children. I don't want to be there. Exited herself. Mr. Crocket is like, oh, it sounds like a child in distress. So it's like the bat signal went up. Pimp down, kid in distress. My man comes through the VCR. Okay, peeking around the corners, and the dad being the black dad saying, who the F is that? Mr. Crocket had something for him. Oh, you want to stuff your child's face? I got something for you. How about you eat what I got? Okay. How about you eat the food that I laid out for you? All right. And how was that? Matter of fact, if you don't want to eat it, then we'll just, you know what? We'll just slice you open, okay, and then stuff it in that way. How you like that? And the son is sitting over there like, you know what, Mr. Crocket, that's my dog. That's my dog. Like cheering him on. Like, boy, you don't care about your daddy at all. And she's there looking like, I don't know. It sounds weird out there. I don't know what kind of stuff is going on in there. Tyra, tell about this raggedy mama and the even more raggedy.
First of all, that baby wasn't missing no meals. You ain't have to make him eat them 3 peas. Leave that young man
exactly. He looks like he's healthy. He's healthy.
But I'm here for all the practical ways. Like I said, even if this isn't your type of horror film, I'm here for what anybody can do with a budget. I appreciated this film for the same reason I appreciate something or a franchise like Terrifier. These films are, from nothing to something. These are from, bite-sized little shorts. So when we do, things that don't cost nothing, but they're effective, him looking through that VCR was hilarious. or his hand, like just the practical ways that we can try to inject some type of terror into these scripts and not just make it completely ridiculous to where it takes you out of the film. It's hilarious. Like I said, the
little cut it off as soon as his hand went through that through that VCR. So especially people that don't like horror. I was on Facebook. Some of y'all was just like, whoop. As soon as that happened, I cut it off.
No, I was here for it. It wasn't. It was still comical. Like him coming in, because at first I was like, what the hell? Like these kids are of age to know, like, regardless of whatever, there's a murder taking place. But I'm under the impression that whatever the kids are seeing that Mr. Crocket is doing, it's not this. They're seeing something totally different. Meanwhile, he is terrifying. These puppets are, demons from hell. And this man about to stick a whole iron in this man's stomach. I was like, Lord, I was here for it though. But ma'am, the next time you hear a pin fall, bring your ass out the room pronto. She was waiting in there. That was the only thing that made me mad. Like, it ain't gonna never be a reason. Let my kids breathe wrong. I'm opening the door. What the hell's going on in here? What y'all doing? Everything safe? Everybody okay? She was just sitting there. Oh, I'm just tired. Like, man, you let this man in here.
Especially
so why you have to be like,
what's going on? Why are you closing your ears?
I was mad at the daddy, Kay, because you know I like me a low cut season with the deep wave. I was like, sir, your beard's connecting. Why you acting like this out here in these horror movies? Your beard was connecting, sir, and you had a low cut season with a deep wave. You could have been great. That had made me mad because he looked like he could have been somebody. But other than that, I loved it.
Ashley, how did you feel about this horror movie opening? We done brought you into opening your eyes to these cold openings. How did you feel about this? The way it got started?
I enjoyed the opening. It grabbed my attention. And let's be clear, this was the stepfather who was clearly had a history of abuse. That mama ain't leaving her child in there just for no reason and not opening the door. She not opening the door because she don't want to see what that stepdaddy is doing to her son. Clearly, this was an abusive situation, in my estimation. I wasn't expecting to see entrails. I wasn't in the first 2 minutes of the movie. I wasn't expecting to see his entrails on the table and us force feeding this stuff. He said, oh, all right, you don't want to take it in your mouth. I will go straight to the source. I said, Mr. Crocket, you're diabolical. You must be stopped. But I kind of like you because you're saving this young boy from history and situation of abuse. The mom was useless, but Kay, why couldn't we use this picture in the beginning? See, I told you she was well put together here.
Because that's not how she approached the situation. She approached
like
to take
you in the moment. Okay, if you was new in town, and this person would look like you would go up to. You wouldn't went up to her, looking like Felicia from Friday.
But no, I thought it was a good opening. Again, this is where budget kind of comes in, right? Because the only thing that threw me off a little bit, and I was like, what are we doing here, is when the demon chair came. And the demon chair started talking and opening its mouth and all that. I was like, all right. But like I said, if an opening's job is to get you invested in the story and what's happening, this delivered in all of the ways.
Oh, yeah, they ain't waste no time.
They didn't. They did not waste no time. They took us in there and they hooked us in the beginning.
No, I thought he was gonna come like out of the TV, out of the VCR. He's like, no, we ain't got that in the budget. I'm coming through the front door. Hey, what the hell you doing? He ain't gotta do nothing he don't want to. I got this big ass oversized cotton candy. Look, I'm here for it. I'm here for him being overly happy and the veins about to pop out of his forehead because you gonna eat this slop, sir.
Okay, it was the creepy smile that was doing it for me. Now, why LeVar? How Reed and Rainbow get in it? Okay, y'all got LeVar Burton out here catching strays, and he ain't do nothing. Okay, Mr. Crocket said, "Don't play with me. I ain't hear about them books and these rainbows. Okay, I ain't the one. I ain't the one. All right." Then we think we about to get this little happy ending, you know. Let's throw it away. We gonna be good. Let's go outside. You know, that's how they always wanted to think everything is happy. We go outside and toss around a ball, or we go swing, we go jump rope, things like that. Play some hopscotch, make it seem all good. And this little rascal is over there doing the bidding from Mr. Crocket from the beyond. Okay. He said, okay, I ain't got my foot off your neck just yet. Okay. Go and draw these pictures for me so we can make it real. Ashley, tell me how you felt about how this all ending. LeVar Burton catching a stray. when the mom had to go out here and pull her son back from beyond, and finding out she pulled her son back and Mr. Crockett too.
That's one thing we'll never do. Okay. We will never come for Reading Rainbow. Okay. Reading Rainbow. We'll never do that because it's legendary. And that's the one fault I found with Mr. Crockett. Leave LeVar out of this. Okay. In the Reading Rainbow, because I can go anywhere. Okay. I can do anything. It's a Reading Rainbow. But as
Butterflies
far as
in the sky.
I
fly
can go
twice as
twice
high.
as high. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Every time.
Every single
Reading
time.
Rainbow. Like, no, don't you
Iconic.
dare.
Leave the rainbow out of this. Okay. Leave LeVar, leave the books, leave Reading Rainbow out of this. But no, this is what pissed me off, honestly. Because, lady, if you've got the magic marker of power and you're in hell, okay, and you're gonna slice somebody up, slice them all the way up. I don't want to see a shred of Mr. Crockett anymore. I don't want to see his mouth. If he's half, he can be a whole again. We're dealing with a supernatural entity fueled by the devil. Okay. So I knew there was going to be some, another iterance of him again. Right. But what really got me is not only do you leave the gates of hell, you done rescued the children, you did all that, you got the magic marker. Now the boy got the magic marker in his coloring box. And he's saying Mr. Crockett is my daddy, and he's beating up the kids at school. And you want to act surprised? Like, has anything happened traumatic to your child? No. What could it? No, there's no girl, Summer. BFFR, that's what pissed me off. Girl, she set this up for the okie doke. And Major is still diabolical. He ain't been in no counseling. She didn't take him to go see anybody. He's still a menace to society. So now he's empowered by Mr. Crockett. They got a direct connection. That's my boy. That's my son. And he has the magic marker, so he can bring him back. This is what pissed me off. Don't you
Sounded like Lou on Bel Air. That's my boy.
That's my boy.
Oh, Tyra. How you feel about this wrap up, and how LeVar get in this?
Don't play with him. Don't play on his time, okay? LeVar brought me many a books in my day. Many a books. LeVar was
shout out to
audible.
little Lucy that said he in the chat that said he was on Reading Rainbow. I bet you had fun too, didn't you?
No, this was to be expected. Like, who was trusting Major? Like, do you see? I've never seen a child, because this is pretty much an Insidious moment. I'm going into the beyond to rescue my child. Once I get there and you see me, your Bertha, your mother, your family, I love you, baby. You know, we fight, we whatever, but I love you. Like, he didn't care for this woman before he got captured. So it was nothing to, like, he was so easily, and as soon as she got there, baby, it's me. Wake up. I'm here. He woke up and was like, nah, I'm good. Went back over there, went back into his little trance. He woke up, saw his mother in her state, saw that this is a facade. You may think it looks like this, but it doesn't look like this. We're like, no, are we in hell? Yeah, I'm good. I want to stay with Mr. Crockett. Like, Mr. Crockett and his diabolical, you know what? I was going to let you rock, but since you came all the way down here, this is really going to be my son, and he's going to do the same thing I did. He's going to have to kill off a parent. We finna be like this, son. But you know, he tried to have a little alley-oop moment. Like, I'm not ready to take that step yet. But don't mistake it. He was never a good child. I didn't see the goodness. Even down at the funeral, it's like, oh, can I just get out of here? Can I play my game? Can I just leave? It wasn't a whole lot of sincerity or grief or just anything coming off a Major beyond, oh, he gone, he dead, so I can act off. You ain't gonna do nothing. It felt like he was released. So yeah, I was not surprised when we decided to just cut Mr. Crockett down and we had that magic marker. Girl, you were supposed to delete that man, but I was like, cool, we're leaving this gate open for possible sequels. I'm here for it. But him being all up under Mr. Crockett's spell enough to, like, you abusing the kids down at the schoolhouse and keeping his allure alive. He doing the Candyman business at school. Like, yeah, I bet you won't say his name. Y'all know Mr. Crockett, he'll come through and kill your parent if that is true. He'll come up and save you. And if you're not believing, I guess he laying hands on you like this.
He was beating the brakes off them kids. You see the picture?
Child, and I don't even think he's possessed or this is him embodying Mr. Crocket. This is just Major. She, everybody gets one, Summer. Sometimes you just gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. You don't count your money while you sitting at the table. You supposed to let that man go and be with his rightful father. He wanted to stay with Mr. Crocket and she left him there. Okay. You had opportunities, sis. You could have started over. You could have got your new man. This is the 90s, girl. The mid-90s. She could have had more children. Now you left. And we got to go into a movie of him bringing Mr. Crocket back and you trying to recapture this son. The way that I would have let Major let go. Bye. Be one with your father. But yeah, he's gonna bring that man back. He's gonna use that magic marker and bring that man back, and it's gonna be hell to pay. They're gonna take out Summer first. We'll see what happens. But it will be interesting to see like how far it goes or what it's gonna do, because with Mr. Crocket, we're not doing anything, special to these kids here, and kids don't remain kids forever. How old is too old? Because Anthony was too old. How old is too old before it's like, yeah, you kind of aging out. And what's going to happen when Anthony's maybe too old and he wants to find a new Major or a new Anthony or a new whatever and replace him? I think he's going to be Crocket Jr.
So he don't get the mantle?
Yeah, something going to have to happen because you can't be old up here and you can't be at the public access station old. You got to go.
Y'all, before we give our overall rating, y'all know we got to break it down and rate it real quick. Again, we have our blockbuster movie nights on Saturdays, and I just want to give you a real quick preview of what's to come this upcoming Saturday. Stick along. We got to give you our overall rating in just a minute.
I think so, y'all. Somebody said that we think that the kids age with Mr. Crocket. I think so, because if Mr. Crocket had been rocking since the 70s, it's 94. I think when you age out, you gone. And he replaces you with new kids.
No, maybe that'd be interesting to see, because it do look like they be, possessed and whatnot. I don't know if he keeps them like everlasting children, like a Peter Pan type thing. I don't know.
It's like, it's me, it's Anthony.
He said, "You old.
You old. Aren't you?"
And then he told him he ain't even done nothing with himself. Like, who are you and what have you done?
I knew you wouldn't be amount to nothing. That's why I was trying to say you. You're old.
Did all that to get back to him and got God. That's just what you get for doing all that lying and stuff. You know what, Anthony? If you regular though, he probably was a
when that monster popped out and he ran and left that woman to defend herself. He ran and hid. I said, "What the hell?" He just left her like, yo, man.
Yeah, before we end it all, y'all know we got to give our overall rating. On my school rating from 0 to 5, and y'all drop it in the chat. From 0 to 5, what would y'all rate Mr. Crocket? Now, take these into consideration. I want you to think about the casting, the acting. How did we do? The score and the music. That was pretty much one of my biggest problems, because it didn't sound 90s until the end. I wish that they would have had the budget to play 90s music. And I don't fault Brandon too hard, because they probably didn't have the money to clear some 90s music. But I really wish they would have gave us some 90s music. The premise of the story, the writing, the director, and the cinematography. Ashley, I'm gonna kick it to you first. What is your overall rating?
I thought this was an enjoyable watch, and I see the potential. There were issues though. I felt like there were moments where I feel like the writing could have been a little bit better. I think the premise was amazing. I didn't mind the direction on this. I'm not gonna go a ton into cinematography. I agree with you. I wish they would have had a bigger budget to have licensed some more 90s music, but Elvis Nolasco did his big one for me. He was the standout actor in this space for me. So for all of those reasons, I'm gonna go with like a 3.75. A 3.75 out of
3.75.
5. I think with
Okay.
budget,
Okay.
I think with a few more writers in the writers room to flesh out more of these characters, I think it has potential to be amazing if and when we do get a part 2.
Same. Absolutely. I feel like my rating also was a 3.5 because Mr. Crockett set it off for me. And I feel like if they gave him some money, that would be great. I took it to the consideration black horror villains and what we got here. And I ain't been giving no high ratings. This is probably one of the best ratings I've gained this year. Tyra, what you feeling like?
Casting and acting, like we said, Mr. Crockett stole the show. He did what he did what he needs to do. Now the actors surrounding Mr. Crockett, because Lil Major, you know how I feel about child actors. Like it was over there with why you always on the road. I just didn't. I did it, Major needed a couple of more major classes. It wasn't what it needs to do for me. But it was decent enough. But he needs some stars around him to really add to what he's doing. Score, what score? There wasn't, much of one, but the music, even though we couldn't get in the 90s space, the fact that they created their own, I thought that said a lot with the film. Like we can't do that. We can't get on 90s bops, but y'all go, a friend like me is a friend. Like we have that. So I'm gonna give them some kudos for that. The premise, everything, the writing. The cinematography could have been a little bit better, but I did appreciate the practical effects and what they were able to do with Mr. Crockett's allure with the animation and everything. I'm gonna give it a 3. Yeah.
Okay, this is some of the best rating we done came through for in a long while. Okay, it's been some mess out here in these streets, y'all. And y'all know y'all done sat up here with us to review some mess. But see we like stuff.
Now we like stuff, Kay.
We like stuff. Where my lighting go?
Yeah, it's things that that you can't be too harsh because a lot of these things are budgetary reasons. So I think the expectation of certain things should be lowered for the standard of the film. But if they get a bigger budget, we get a sequel and we get less of why you always on the road. If we get less of the child actor type thing, or he gets better, I think we'll be straight.
Any last thoughts on this movie, Tyra, Ashley, before we head it on out of here?
Nothing. If my kids are watching or happen to watch this, try it if you want to. Be a major and think I'm coming to get you. I ain't coming. I love you from a distance. I'll never forget you. Because if you gonna act like major, bad. That's it.
Ashley, anything else on Mr. Crockett?
Overall thoughts, I want, especially as creators within the diaspora, I loved this direction. I love the way that we're going in terms of being imaginative and creative and telling different stories. And I just want to see more. I just want to see way, 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 way more of this type of energy in the projects going forward.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. But y'all, thank y'all for joining us this afternoon. Y'all know we're going to be back again talking about 3 women. And boy, was that an episode?
Lord Jesus.
Was that an episode? We're going to talk to. If you all have not already, please hit like and subscribe on all of our channels before we get out of here. Ashley, tell them real quick what we need to be on the lookout for.
Just be back tonight, you guys, for 3 women. This is Gia's story, and I thought it was going to be dry and boring. Dry and boring it was not. And then tomorrow, you guys, we are starting a brand new series, and I will be hosting. We are watching Disclaimer on Apple TV, the first 2 episodes. If you haven't watched it, go watch it, y'all. I think this is interesting. It's nothing that I thought it was going to be. And then don't forget, on Tuesdays, we talk from. My upload recap will be up this evening at 9:30 p.m. So just be on the lookout for that. And thank y'all for being here. We appreciate you so, so much. We know this was a little bit kind of short notice, so we thank you guys for showing up.
And they did come. There is we got up to over 80 people here.
Let me say 3 women is spicy.
Baby.
Okay. Just dropped my video out in the open in the public for Strictly Business. Please go and watch that and run it up if you haven't, especially if you are here for my throwback content. It got some throwback on it. Support Teacup. We discussed Teacup yesterday, the new series that's available on Peacock. Real fresh, only 2 episodes into the first season, and I really think the show is going to grow to be something pretty prolific or great, or really good storytelling. And I'm kind of interested to see how that goes, and I'm hoping that you guys are too. So go and support that if you haven't. Like Ashley said, we will be dropping and getting into 3 women shortly in a couple hours. So roll back up here later on tonight. And disclaimer is on Apple TV. Run it up. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm saving it because I just want to be refreshed when we talk about it Monday. And I will be hosting from Tuesday. I will be hosting and we'll be dropping my solo video for that as well. So if you guys could support that would be really major.
Again, thank you all. Thank you for Rod hopping in the memberships for everybody. Thank you all for liking, comment, sharing the video. And just being here. Make sure you like and subscribe. We will be back here 8:15 p.m. EST to talk 3 women. So that means you have time to go and watch it, okay? Y'all got time to go and watch it because we're going to be back. It's a lot to talk about in that episode. If you have not seen Mr. Crocket, please go and watch this movie. Let us know. Let us know in the comment section. If you go back and watch it later, how you feel. Go check out the recaps of it. Let us know how you feel. And just in case y'all needed a reminder, I'm going to let y'all know what we got coming up through the week. Y'all going to see us again tomorrow and the next day. Y'all know how we do. Thank y'all for joining us, and we're gonna see y'all in just a little while, actually.